All right. So Social Security.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about it.
Big topic.
Yeah, it is. And there might be changes coming. So before we get into all that,
right.
If you want to keep up with this and all the other important stuff we talk about, be sure to subscribe.
Definitely.
Okay. So let's be honest here. That 2034 date.
Yeah.
When Social Security is supposed to become insolvent.
Right.
It's getting closer.
Yeah, it is.
And that could mean a 22% cut to benefits.
It's a real concern.
Yeah. It's a big deal for a lot of people.
Absolutely it is.
And it feels like this has been a problem for a while.
A long time.
But politicians, they don't seem to want to actually address it.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because any changes they make could mean some people would get less money.
Right now. Right now.
And no politician wants to be the one responsible for that.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But if they just keep ignoring it,
right,
it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, it just makes the problem bigger down the road.
Exactly. So let's look at some of the ideas that are being talked about.
Sure.
One that I've seen is this Social Security boost, which sounds great.
Yeah, on the surface it does.
Right. Who wouldn't want more benefits?
Right.
But I think there's got to be more to it.
Yeah, you're right to be a little wary. Increasing benefit, now that sounds good.
Yeah.
But it could actually make things worse in the long run.
So.
Well, remember that insolvency date.
Yeah, 2034.
Yeah. If we boost benefits now,
right,
it's going to make that happen even sooner.
Oh, so it could actually bring us closer to those cuts.
Exactly.
Wow. So it's kind of like a tough choice. Yeah. We want to make sure people have enough money to live on now.
Absolutely.
But if we give more now,
right,
it could mean there's less later.
That's the trade-off.
So what do you think about that?
It's a difficult question.
Yeah.
Do we help people now or try to make sure the program lasts longer?
Yeah. If you're listening, let us know.
Yeah. What do you think?
What do you think is more important?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Absolutely. And hit that like button if you're finding this helpful.
Yeah. So another thing that sounds really good at first is this idea of eliminating taxes on Social Security benefits.
Right.
Donald Trump has proposed this.
He has.
And I bet a lot of people would love that.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
But we have to think about the money part of it.
What do you mean?
Well, if we get rid of those taxes, that's less money going into Social Security.
So we'd be taking money away from the program to give to people.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really help.
Not in the long run.
The program stay afloat.
No.
Okay. So who exactly is paying taxes on their benefits right now?
Right now, if you're single and you make over $25,000 a year, you could have to pay taxes on up to half of your benefits.
Wow.
And for married couples, that number is $32,000.
Okay, so it's not everyone, but it is a lot of people.
It is.
Yeah, especially people who are still working.
People who might have other income.
Okay.
And if you make even more, like over $34,000 if you're single, or $44,000 for a couple, you could pay taxes on 85% of your benefits.
Wow. That's a lot.
It is.
So are they thinking about changing those numbers at all?
Yeah, there are some ideas to maybe lower the tax burden for some people.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That way it wouldn't hurt the program so much.
Exactly.
I've also heard about maybe raising the payroll tax a little.
That's right.
To kind of balance out getting rid of the taxes on benefits.
Exactly. So right now it's 12.4%. Split between workers and their employers.
Right.
They're talking about maybe raising that to 12.8%.
That doesn't sound like a huge increase.
Yeah, not a huge jump.
But I imagine it would still affect a lot of people.
Definitely. Even small changes can have big effects.
So we've got all these different ideas.
We do.
Benefit boosts, getting rid of taxes, raising the payroll tax.
It's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah. What do you think is actually going to happen?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. And how is it going to affect people like us?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
Things change so fast.
Right.
And these are all just ideas right now.
So how can we stay up to date on all of this?
The most important thing is to pay attention to what's happening. Read about the different proposals and think about how they might affect you.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about another big issue.
Okay.
Raising the full retirement age.
Yeah, that's always a controversial one.
Yeah. Yeah. And it sounds like Donald Trump has said he won't raise it.
Interesting.
So that's off the table.
So he's basically saying he's more focused on people who are getting benefits now.
Yeah, than people who will get them later.
Yeah.
That's a big decision.
It is.
And speaking of controversial topics,
okay,
Trump has also said he wants to prevent undocumented immigrants from getting benefits.
Yeah, he says he wants to weed them out.
Yeah, to protect the program.
Exactly.
This is a really complex issue.
It is. There are strong feelings on both sides.
So it seems like with all of this, it's important to really think about
absolutely
how it will affect different people.
Right.
What do you think about this particular proposal?
Well, it's interesting because it kind of gets into bigger questions than just, the money or the rules.
Like what?
Like, who are we as a country? What do we care about?
Yeah. Who deserves to be taken care of?
Exactly. It's not just about being legal or illegal. It's about values.
Yeah. It makes you think about what's really important.
And these conversations can be tough.
Yeah. They can be uncomfortable.
But we need to have them.
Right. We can't just ignore these things.
Exactly. We need to get past the simple answers and really dig into the complicated stuff.
And there's another complicated thing we haven't really talked about.
Okay.
The economic side of all this.
Right.
Like how these changes could affect the whole economy.
Yeah, we've been focused on the individual.
Right. The individual people getting benefits.
But it's bigger than that.
Yeah, Social Security is like a big part of how the economy works.
Yeah. Millions of people use those benefits.
Right.
To buy food, to pay rent.
Right.
And if that money changes,
it
affects everything.
So people get less money.
Right.
They'll spend less money.
And that means businesses will make less money.
Yeah. It's all connected.
It is.
And what about raising the payroll tax?
Yeah.
How could that affect things?
Well, if businesses have to pay more, they might not hire as many people.
Okay.
Or they might invest less.
Right.
And that could slow down the economy.
So it's like we're trying to fix one problem, but we might create another one.
It's a balancing act.
It's like one of those Jenga games where you pull out the wrong block.
Right.
And the whole thing falls apart.
Exactly. You have to be really careful. You have to think about what's going to happen next.
Yeah, not just the first thing that happens.
And the next thing after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of stuff.
A lot of complicated stuff.
What do you think is the most important thing for people?
The most important thing to remember is there are no easy answers here.
Right.
Social Security is facing some big challenges, but every solution has downsides.
Yeah. There's no perfect solution.
That's right.
It's about figuring out what we're willing to give up to make sure the program survives.
And having those tough conversations.
Right.
About what's most important. And that's where our listeners come in. You need to be part of this conversation.
Yeah. So stay informed.
Yeah.
Read about the different proposals.
Just talk to your elected officials.
Yeah.
Let them know what you think.
And if you're enjoying this discussion and you want to keep learning,
please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
So we've been talking about all these big ideas.
Right.
But we can't forget that this is about real people.
That's so important.
Yeah. We're not just talking about numbers and projections.
These are people's lives.
Yeah. People like you and me.
Exactly.
So I want to tell you a story about one of our listeners.
I'd love to hear it.
Her name is Sarah, and she wrote to us. She's a single mom.
Wow.
Working 2 jobs.
That's tough.
Yeah, just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And she's really worried about Social Security.
What are her concerns?
Well, she's worried that by the time she retires, there won't be any money left.
It's a real fear for a lot of people.
Yeah, and her story, it really made me think, this isn't just about numbers.
Right.
It was about real people.
Exactly.
Real life.
People who are counting on this program.
Yeah. It's about their future.
Absolutely.
It's about whether they can retire with dignity.
We have to remember that.
Yeah. We can just focus on balancing the budget.
It's not just about the numbers.
Right. We have to think about the people who depend on this program.
We need solutions that work for everyone.
Solutions that are fair.
Absolutely.
That don't leave anyone behind.
And that means listening to people.
Yes.
People like Sarah.
Yeah. Hearing their story.
And understanding their struggles.
This isn't just a conversation for politicians.
It's a conversation for all of us.
Yeah. This affects all of us.
So we need to talk about it.
Yeah. We need to be informed.
We need to make our voices heard.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to reach out to your elected officials.
Tell them what you think.
Tell them what matters to you.
Yeah. Because this is your future.
Yeah. It's our future.
You know, we need to fight for it.
All right. So that's it.
That's a lot to think about.
Yeah. It is. But thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
And if you want to stay up to date on this.
Absolutely.
And all the other important stuff we talk about.
Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah. And give us a like.
It really helps.
So until next time.
Yeah.
Stay curious.
Stay engaged.
And keep learning.